Hey guys, what's up? It is currently November 26th. Yeah, it's I'm up here in the Northeast, bro. It's been fucking cold as fucking dog shit lately. And then today I wake up and it's goddamn 60 degrees out. So like, I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna find a nice little bench. And I took some notes for some topics I want to talk about today. Right now, I'm kind of making a decision saying fuck it. I want to start teaching. Because if you know me, or if you heard any of my content, you hear my music, you know anything about me, I know a fucking lot, bro. And like, this is very valuable information that people and the right minds need to be aware of. I almost slipped on the fucking train track. Whew. About to fucking snap my shit in half. But I'm gonna start talking once, like talking about these subjects, once I get to a nice spot where I could sit and just talk. Right now I'm kind of just walking to my shit. Had some nice fruit this morning. I've been fasting. I've been on a big ass spiritual detox, bro. Dropped about 20 pounds in the past 2 months. I feel better than fucking ever, bro. I went from like a 165 baseline to like I'm 148 this morning. I'm trying to go down to 145, then I'll bounce back up. But I really want to target the metals, the toxins, microplastics. Right now I'm really hammering these parasites. I want these fuckers out of my system, and every day that I'm in this parasitic cleanse, I get better and better. I get lighter and lighter. More and more energy, more and more cognition, more and more fluidity up in the brain and the heart too. People can feel it too. I mean, it's crazy. Same thing with the semen retention too. I've been on that. Oh my God. I've never felt better in my whole life, but just give me a sec. I'm almost to where I need to be going. Almost there. But it is kind of a wonderful day though. It smells a little weird outside right now. Probably with all the industrial bullshit over there. But man, I'm really excited to talk about this stuff because all this shit is pertaining to literally today's day and age, and consciousness expansion, basic awareness, understanding of how humans operate, how this world operates, how this universe operates, how everything operates, and how to take advantage of that and use this knowledge I'm about to teach you guys to the best of your ability in your everyday lives, to where you can fucking conquer this fucking world just like I am, flawlessly and effortlessly, bro. So I'm approaching my bench right now. Hope this shit's not too wet. Let's see. That's a little damp, but be all good. Look at this water. If you ever look at water and compare it to frequency waves, it's the same fucking thing, bro, because everything is frequency, energy, and vibration. So like, crazy. So all right, let me take a breath and then we'll get started. You can take a breath with me too. Instantaneous fucking surge of warmth of energy to the third eye right now. I feel, oh fuck, let's go. All right, so I want to talk about the rapture today that was mentioned in the book of Revelations, as well as many other ancient civilizations and cultures, cross cultures, cross planet. Pretty much everyone has this misconception of what the rapture is. They think that like the fucking sky is gonna like turn like red or some shit, and then like this whole phenomenon is gonna happen where like, oh, Jesus comes down from the heaven, he waves his arms, and then the good people, the good Christians, believe whatever the fuck, will all float into the sky and they're going to heaven, and then the the other half, the ones that missed their boat, they're just gonna be like, oh wham, they're gonna be stuck in the fiery pits of earth, there's gonna be lava, like it's gonna be this whole fucking movie scene. But that's not what the fucking rapture is, bro. What the rapture is what's happening right now in the world. So we're actually living through the rapture and the times mentioned in biblical history. And I kind of knew this as a kid because, like, bro, I knew all this as a kid. You know everything as a kid. So when I was a kid, a little story time, I always said, because I always knew and felt in myself, I'm just like, either I am God having a human experience, or there is God in me, but there's something a lot different about me than everyone else in my reality. And I always fucking knew it. And I could feel it. Like, it's just the way I move, the way I think, the way I talk, the way I perform, the way I do things, the way I fucking own everything. It's just like, I always fucking knew it, bro. But as I kept saying that, even my own family would tell me I'm fucking delusional. They'd tell me to be quiet because it's dangerous to talk like that. I'd be like, oh, I feel like I'm God. And they'd be like, you can't do that. You can't say that. Shh. And they'd be like, you have delusions of grandeur. And they'd be like, maybe we should take you to someone. Like, it's that Matrix bullshit. But as a kid, you're fresh, bro. You're not indoctrinated. You're untouched by these systems and these beliefs and these social conditioning that take place in your upcoming and your upbringing in modern day society if you're not homeschooled. So, like, obviously I sounded batshit as a kid, and ever since then I shut the fuck up. And like, when I was a kid and I knew that, I was always just like, I feel, for some goddamn reason, I feel like I'm about to live through the apocalypse. This is back when I was like 5. I was like, I have a feeling I'm gonna live through the apocalypse. Like, I'd be up there were countless nights I'd just be awake, and all I could think about was, I feel like I'm living through the apocalypse. Like, I'm like, something's gonna happen where the world's gonna end, or there's gonna be an apocalypse or a revelation or some shit, and like, I'm gonna be here to help people during that. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, I didn't know who, I didn't know anything. I didn't even know myself back then. But like, I had a feeling. I'm just like, why do I feel this? But like, since I was made to, let's see, look at Mr. Siegel right there. He knows what's up. He's chilling with me. What's up, bro? Anyways, like, I always knew this shit as a kid. I always knew the truth, but like, I was told to shut up, be quiet, be normal. So I was being quiet and being normal, until like recently, a couple years ago. But like, when I really started saying, fuck it, I'm gonna start questioning things. So like, pretty much the rapture is not some movie scene, some Hollywood movie scene they try and make you think it is, a church tries to make you think it is. It's really what's going on. It's all frequency. So the universe 101, everything is made of frequency. Well, technically everything vibrates, everything is frequency, and everything is energy, correct? You can find that, that's a Hermetic philosophy as well. Everything vibrates, the law of vibration, pretty much. So, there's so much to talk about. So, we are all frequency. We're all frequential beings and energetic beings. That's why you hear the sayings, oh, we're electromagnetic beings, or just like, ooh, blah, blah, blah. And everything on this planet is fucking vibrating. Like, this is just, it's vibrating. It's energetic. It isn't even fucking real. It's a holographic projection of ourselves into reality, and the eyes are the lens in which we perceive this to be this right now in this moment of time. So this is really just slowed down so slow to where we can perceive and interact with it as a solid object, when in reality 99% of there's 99% of space, well, 99% of the interaction between particles with each other is just empty space. Nothing actually really touches anything. Me, I'm not even sitting on this bench. I'm performing the action of sitting on this bench, but I'm not touching the wood. I'm not touching my work pants. My black pants. I'm not touching, and my black pants are not touching the bench. Technically, I'm floating. Everything's floating. So like, when you understand this concept that everything vibrates and everything is frequency and everything is just slowed down or sped up to a certain degree, extent to form the objects we see today and shit. When you understand this concept, you can start to implement it into your everyday life and how you think, how you perform cognitively. So like, Because if everything is just a holographic projection of yourself for you to perceive and interact with the world through your own perspective, that means reality can be manipulated. Reality can be co-created. And these are concepts that are going to sound really fucking crazy to like the everyday normal person, but like you have to upgrade your consciousness and you have to do a lot of spiritual work in order to get to this point to where you can think and operate like this, where you see everything, where you literally live your whole life with 2 eyes in the physical, in the 3D, and 1 eye constantly behind the veil. And this cannot be fucking fooled. These can be fooled any day of the week. That's why you never believe what you see. You don't believe what someone's telling you. You don't believe what these media outlets or whatever, the people in power, whatever. You don't believe anything. What you do is use your own intuition in the heart, and you use your 3rd eye behind the veil when you decalcify it, and that helps you determine the truth and helps you remember who the fuck you are and what the fuck is going on, why we're here. So the Schuman resonance, so the Earth also emits a frequency. It's called the Schuman resonance. Schumann resonance. I almost said residence. Technically residence because we know we live here, but the Schumann resonance, and I believe it's like 7.83 hertz or whatever, and it's slowly rising. It was stagnant for a little bit, but now it's slowly rising. And if you the Hermetic law, what was it? Hermetic law of correspondence: as within, so without; as above, so below. So pretty much we are the macrocosm reflects the microcosm, and the microcosm reflects the macrocosm, correct? So like pretty much like I have the universe inside of me as I'm inside the universe, if that makes any sense, because we are all, everything you see, me, my hat, my shoes, the water, the boats, the sky, the clouds, the metals they spray in the sky, the cars you see on the road, the food you eat, the saliva in your mouth, everything stems from an overall consciousness, one consciousness. That is God, that is Krishna spirit, that is the Christ consciousness, that is source, spirit, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That is that. We're gonna call it source / spirit, and then I say God here and there for simplicity's sake. But like, it's not. Don't limit. Don't limit that phenomenon to just one fucking word that I'm saying, just for sake of conversation and teaching. But so the Schumann resonance is rising steadily. So if you take into account that we are spiritual beings, obviously, no shit, duh. Anyways, and the Schumann resonance is rising. That means the macrocosm shall the microcosm will reflect the macrocosm. So when the Earth's frequency rises, our frequency rises in tandem. And this is to stem off of this point. I forgot to mention that since the Earth's frequency rises, when that rises, and our consciousness rises in tandem, it also operates in the reverse, the inverse as well. So when our frequency rises, we contribute to the Earth's rising. So this gets into the collective consciousness and how that impacts the frequency of the Earth too. So like what I'm doing right now and what many others are doing is frequency work. So when I raise my own frequency and raise my baseline and ascension, spiritual ascension, when I do that and I raise my baseline frequency, I in turn, since we're all one collective consciousness of the same main source, we just got little fractions of each other. So when I raise my frequency, it in turn assists the collective consciousness to rise in frequency as well. So technically, by proxy, by doing my inner spiritual work, I am contributing to the Earth's frequency rising and the collective, other people's, everyone on the planet, everyone in existence, consciousness rising as well. And when the Earth's frequency rises, it in turn, by proxy, helps raise mine as well. It's all in unison, bro. I'll get into collective consciousness in another video, but I hope you understand this topic. Because we are tuning forks, bro. Nikola Tesla was all about this as well. Same with Einstein. Same with pretty much all the intelligent minds of history and all ancient cultures in society. They pretty much, your spine has 33 vertebrae. Same with, the age of Jesus Christ, about 33-degree masonry. 33, bro, it's all numerology as well. So there's so much to talk about, bro. And I got so much battery on this GoPro. Anyways, so we are tuning forks. That's why when you're around a certain environment or around certain kinds of people, they start to rub off on you. You're around some bad people, their bad habits start to rub off on you. Their bad ways start to rub off on you. Or if you're around someone that you really like or that you love, you start to pick up their habits, the way how they speak. You adopt certain traits of your environment because you are your environment. We're all one consciousness. We all have the same exact consciousness. But the difference between us is we are all different expressions of that consciousness through our own individual personalized experiences and environments on this plane of existence. So the illusion of separation is a big one they like to use. Like, oh, I can't do that, but you can, well, because you're different than me. You're better than me. Oh, I can do this and you can't because I'm better than you. Or like, oh, I'm limited to this because of this. Or like, you identify with these certain traits when you're not really that. You're just the consciousness behind it, and you just believe these things. When people, like, I was talking to someone last night in person, and I was just like, oh yeah, but you understand these things because you're unique. You're unique. Yeah, sure, I am a unique expression of the overall consciousness, but we are not separate. I literally am you. My shit is inside of you, but through your own lived experience, it'll be expressed in a different way. But you can achieve this state of consciousness because we're all capable of the same shit. Infinite potential, bro. So like, I'm here to try and help you guys understand these things. So the microcosm reflects the macrocosm. So when the earth, so we're tuning first pretty much. So pretty much the earth's frequency rises, we rise. The ones that are tapped in, the ones that do spiritual work, and the ones that are aware of everything going on and work on their frequency of bullshit and their energetic vibration. The higher your vibration, you know, the better your life is, the better your perception of reality is, the better your life circumstances are, the better you operate, the quicker you are in the head, the more magnetized you are in the heart, bro. It's like, you want to be in a state of high vibration. A state of low vibration is like addictions, self-worth issues, bad habits, being around the wrong people, being your unauthentic self, a state of fear. The list goes on. A state of high vibration is authentically me, authentic to myself. I am aligned with myself, my highest self, and I am aligned with the truth. That is high vibe shit. I wake up, I feel no fear. I feel no negative emotions. All I do is I wake up in my baseline, because I put myself in this position. My baseline: joy, peace, prosperity, happiness, like excitement for the day. I wake up and I'm like, fuck, let's fucking do this, bro. So like, it's possible, bro, and I'm living proof that this shit fucking works. You can look at my old shit. If you knew me when I was younger, you can see me living in a state of low vibration to me now, high vibration. So, but we're also tuning forks. So what I was referring to with the rapture, the rapture is really a split between timelines and frequential realities. So everybody vibrates at their own vibration, correct? Like pretty much me, I vibrate really, really fucking high. So when I'm around low vibrational people, or even just like baseline average vibrational people, or people who are unaware, or even around fellow high vibrational people, they can fucking feel my shit. They feel me before I walk into the room. Before I get out of my car, they know what the fuck it is. It's crazy, because everyone just be talking to each other, and I'll walk in the room and then, because daddy's home, bro. Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. It's my energy, bro. You can hear it in my voice, bro. Fucking, this is not just a lifestyle. This is a state of being. This is the truth. This is everything. When you learn these things, nothing else in this little 3D matrix reality fucking matters, bro. And it'll actually bend to you and your desires, because you will co-create with God, bro. So like, the rapture is really just a split in frequencies, and this is this was talked about a lot with oh boy, there's a lot of topics. So like, one, if you think about the yuga cycles, the Indian culture, ancient Indian culture and bullshit, like the Brahma cycles and bullshit. So like, we just came out of Kali Yuga, which is the age of darkness and descent, and that ends in 2025 right now. And then starting in 25, right after the Yuga cycle ends, is the Satya Yuga cycle, which is the era, the golden age of humanity, and the era of enlightenment. So there's a end of a descent cycle, and then a split, a transition into the age of enlightenment. And then that's why people are starting to wake up now. People are starting to ask more questions. People are starting to like hesitate before believing shit. People are starting to slowly go down the rabbit hole. People are starting to find out more information about how this world actually works. People are starting to trust the government a little less. People are starting to realize what's going on. And this can be, and this is evident with these systems, these government systems that are slowly being exposed. Want to know why they're exposed? Because we were in this age of darkness where everything was shrouded in shadow. You didn't know what the fuck was going on. But now that the Earth's frequency is rising and people's frequency is rising in tandem with that, people are slowly starting to see through the smoke screen. They're really starting to see things clearly now. A little bit. They're starting in there. But that's better than nothing. So like, that's why you see more things being exposed in the government, more politicians being exposed as one of the uniparty, more of this, more of that, all around the world. These horrible, atrocious atrocities, these genocides are now being exposed, which we would have never fucking known about. Like all these, like even the banking systems. A lot of people are starting to say, you know what, banks are fucking stupid as fuck. Let me go with crypto. Like it's happening all across the board. And it was this was talked about for thousands of years, bro. And on top of the Yuga cycles, funny because the Mayans predicted the world would end in 2012, but it wasn't like, oh, the world will end in 2012 like everyone thought it was. It's their version, the Mayans version of the Yuga cycle was ending around 2012, and after that ends is their age of enlightenment, their golden age. And on top of that, you have the astrologists who everyone knew this thousands of years ago, especially like Plato, Aristotle, everybody knew this shit. And you can find their teachings online. You just won't learn about it in school. You just learn they looked at planets and that was it. That was that one slide on the PowerPoint and that's it. Crazy. So like, they will, the astrologists, the age of Pisces we were just in for a long ass time, which is also, you know, relative to the Kali Yuga cycle, the age of descent, you know, just kind of all up in your shit, not really understanding a lot of shit that's going on. And then in 2025, the age of Aquarius begins, which is the age of innovation, the age of new information, the age of new thought, the age of enlightenment, which is crazy. It's cross cultures, take everything around the planet and it all lines up to this, which is crazy. So that's what the rapture really is. So like, the rapture is more, will you raise your frequency or will you forever be in a low state of consciousness? That is the rapture. Will you go up and ascend like what I'm doing, spiritual ascension? Will you ascend or will you remain and be lost to the truth? And this all comes back to the truth, because when you vibrate, the highest vibration isn't love. Well, I guess so, because love is the most powerful form of the universe. But like, aside from love, truth is the highest form of vibration, bro. When you resonate with truth and you want nothing but the truth, bro, you automatically like become up here. That's why people who are like into manipulation, into deceiving people, are all like lower vibrational people, and they're always like really skeevy. They're always like low, very dense. But the ones who are in truth, very transparent, very fucking fluid, very light, very not dense. So that's kind of what happens with that. So like right now I kind of caught the wave of ascension. So like, I'm doing what my part about ascending in frequency so I can, you know, be on the good side of things, also just because it's the only thing that fucking matters to me, bro. So like, the people around me that are not into the truth, that are asleep at the fucking wheel and just want to remain in their own little 3D matrix reality, which is okay, do whatever the fuck you want, I don't care. We all have our own past, our own journeys, our own soul contracts, our own whatever the fuck. If you want to remain in the three-dimensional reality, the matrix, by all means. But this is a split for you to break out of the matrix. This is what breaking out of the matrix really means. So look at my notes. So yeah, the Schuman resonance is rising. It's only going to get higher from here, and that'll reflect the human resonance as well. But the rapture is the split. It's not like, oh, I go to the clouds and you go to hell. It's more just like, I will further and further ascend up the ladder of truth and light and love and God and spirit. Will you take that route? Or will you maintain your beliefs, your limiting beliefs, your indoctrinated conditioning, all of that? And will you remain dense and blind to the truth and your own fixed perception of the reality? Stubbornness. Will you do that? And like, it's said in like the book of Revelations and whatever too, that it's like, when you don't make this jump, when you don't make this shift, this rapture, you miss your boat and you're forever stuck, unable to break out. That's what it's all, because it involves quantum physics and quantum mechanics, because quantum is just a study of the unseen, and spiritual shit, the spirit is unseen. So when you understand that there is an unseen, and it's this, we literally study it, it's called quantum shit, you understand that there is an unseen world on top of our seen world that we can only perceive with these eyes. And we were always told as well that like we can only see a certain level of the light spectrum, and when there's a whole entire light spectrum that like we can't observe. So like that just says there's a lot more than meets the eye. That's the saying too, a lot more than meets the eye. But when you unlock this third eye, the pineal gland, which I'll touch upon in a little bit in this video, you can start to see, recognize, and move in the unseen. So like when you operate from the scene with just these two eyes, and this is decalcified and you're asleep at the fucking wheel, you think the world is these systems have control over you. You're just going with the flow. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You're like, oh, I guess I'll do this, man, I hope this happens. All the power's outside of yourself. But when you move in the unseen as well, you understand and can take advantage of these spiritual aspects of life, and you can actually co-create whatever the fuck you want with God, bro. And whatever you wish for, whatever your true God-willing desire is, you will embark on a journey to turn you into the person capable of holding that wish. That is called conscious manifestation as well. You can look at a lot of Neville Goddard's work. I thought you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. A lot of Neville Goddard is like really, I fucking love that guy. A lot of good shit. Anyway, so like, that's the true meaning behind the rapture and behind what's really going on right now. And I was correct. I'm here during this time period, just like I predicted as a kid. And I do have God in me, in my heart, and I can see with my third eye. I knew this. I was fucking right, bro. I was fucking right. Anyways, oh, it's like coming home to myself, bro. That's what it is. So I want to get into like how to take advantage of this. How do you rise to the occasion and not be left behind? So this is why I'm trying to like open the door for as many people as possible. I don't care if I'm called crazy. I don't care if I get one view. I don't care if people look at me like, he's fucking weird, he talks about all these conspiracies. I don't care. If I could help one person, that means the world to me. Because when I was asking these questions, when I was lost in my hole, I really could have used myself, but I didn't have myself. I had to work myself out of the matrix, all by my fucking self with the help of God, obviously. But like, I did this alone, bro. I didn't have anyone who understood me at all. I didn't have anyone to talk about this with. I thought I was crazy this whole entire time until things started clicking. But like, pretty much like this, I want to talk about the second coming as well. So like that is involved with the rapture. So the second coming isn't like Jesus comes down, because I see everywhere, oh, Jesus will come save us, Jesus will return, he'll come down from the clouds, from the sky, he'll wave his arms and we'll all be saved. I can sit here and not have inspired action. I cannot be proactive. I can just sit back, not do any work, and Jesus will come save me. That's false. That places power outside of yourself, and it just fucks you over because you're just being stagnant. The worst thing than going like the second coming is really just Jesus, and the second coming is the second coming means the second rise of consciousness, which is the Schuman resonance getting boosted right now, and humans getting boosted, which in turn affects their consciousness, our consciousness, which is the second coming. When you take advantage of these powers and you learn all these things and you actually do the inner work, your consciousness expands. That's why I'm able to understand and like relay all this information that I know, and why I can operate and think and talk and speak and move the way I do, and why I have such a close connection to God, and why I decalcified my pineal gland, because I have achieved the Christ consciousness, bro, which is basically just oneness. Your return to oneness, because we were all little fractals of the same overall consciousness, i.e. source, i.e. God, i.e. Buddha, i.e. Krishna, whatever the fuck. We are all one. Just different expressions of the one through our own individualized experiences. And that fractal of God inside of you, of source inside of you, is your soul. So it all slowly starts to come together, bro. So the second coming, that's what I activated inside of myself. So like so now that I have achieved this state, I can help people wake up, because I've achieved this and I'm living proof this shit fucking is real and it works. And this is what it is. It's not Jesus comes down from the fucking sky. That man's long gone. Respect to that motherfucker, but that guy's he's not coming back, bro. He ain't coming back. There's no handouts. There's no spiritual handouts. It's just you. No one's here to save you. You're here to save yourself. So, like, I mean, Jesus wasn't even who you thought he was either. He was a fucking Gnostic. He didn't like the churches. He didn't like any of these systems. He didn't like religion. He didn't like the government. He didn't like any of this shit. And that's why he was killed, because of what he did. Honestly, I have more in common with Jesus. I'm not glorifying myself. I'm not comparing myself to fucking Jesus. What I'm saying is I have more in common with Jesus Christ than all these pastors and whatever fucking people are out here, because what Jesus was doing is Jesus achieved the state of consciousness to where he returned home to himself, and he preached that the power is inside of you. God is inside of you. You have the power to change the world. You have the power to create your own reality. You have the power to do whatever the fuck you want. The systems, the church, all these whatever the fuck, they can't touch you, because you become completely sovereign. So when he was teaching people this kind of shit that I'm trying to teach people these days, he was killed for it, because it puts power inside of each individual person. It helps them remember and recognize the power in themselves. And when everybody recognizes the power within themselves, these systems lose power and control. They lose the game of manipulated perception and misdirection. They can't have that. So the second coming is really just a force of consciousness and a state of consciousness inside of you. And in order to achieve that, you have to do a lot of fucking inner work. You have to do a lot. You gotta go through ascension. You gotta be in touch with God. You gotta really fucking purge these subconscious programs inside of your nervous system, because your nervous system is what creates your reality, bro. And your nervous system is your subconscious as well. So like, when you're like, I basically grew up in a state of fear, in a state of scarcity, and a state of being or not having permission to be my authentic self and to stand out. So through this whole entire process of spiritual ascension, I had to uninstall those subconscious programs and reinstall the programs of peace, prosperity, abundance, hope, love, authenticity, and the willingness to be myself and to shine. Because whenever I would stand out and shine as a kid, whether I'm fucking, stomping kids at fucking sports, whether I'm fucking speaking out on topics they don't want to talk about, or just like asking questions that you shouldn't be asking as a kid. And it's like, oh, like they'll give you a PowerPoint and then you're like, oh, but why is that? Oh, but why is that? Why? They don't want you to ask you why. They want you to shut up in the classroom and listen to their PowerPoint and never talk about anything. So like, I was always told to hide my light. And that's also what Jesus was talking about. It's all light, love, and energy, bro. Not in the cringe, stupid ass fucking white girl fucking pumpkin spice latte way, but in like the actual way to where you can actually shine your light. What's up? You can actually shine your light in the way it's meant to be shown. So because when you shine authentically and naturally like that, it gives people around you permission to do the same subconsciously. They're not aware of it, but they go, oh, he's doing that. I can do that too. That's what this whole thing is, bro. That's what Jesus was preaching, bro. And then I want to talk about three-dimensional consciousness, verse 4, verse 5. So three-dimensional consciousness is what pretty much everybody is stuck in. Three-dimensional consciousness. So that is like a state of fear, a constant state of fear, lack, scarcity, like, oh, everyone's out to get me, kind of like that. Like, oh, I'll never have enough. Oh, I'll never live my dreams. Oh, I'll settle for this life because I have low self-worth. All that shit. That's fear. And then when you come out of that during your first awakening, you will enter the fourth dimensional reality, which is a reality of duality. So it's just like it's less fear, more oh, there's two sides of the same coin. Okay, so I'm still living in fear, but I know there's some light. I know there's another side, and I'm gonna work my ass off to get to that other side of love and light, peace, prosperity, abundance, joy, you know, all that good shit. So that's when you have the perception of duality. You're like, oh, there is hope, there is a chance, there is a God, like that. So like, but then once you have your next spiritual awakening, this was the big one for me. You transition to fifth dimensional consciousness, 5D, which is conscious co-creation of reality with God. Life is whatever the fuck I want it to be. With God, through God, by God. As God. Because God is inside of us. Each and every one of us. So like, this is where you really take the wheel of your own life. On a spiritual level, you have to do an immense amount of spiritual work for that. It's retarded. It's really retarded, but it's doable. And everything's on a delay, so you should really start today. It's on delay, start today. So, and I'll teach you how to do these inner workings and all this in a little bit. I'm kind of going down my list. I have a lot to write down. I have a lot of information to get to the masses and shit. So like, this is fifth dimensional consciousness. This is also the state that XX Tentacion was also yapping about too, that no one fucking understood. But like, it's weird because you can live in the same physical reality as people in lower states of consciousness or higher states of consciousness, but it's in the way you operate and the way you interact with them that becomes obviously blatantly different. So pretty much like when I was in 4D, which is duality, pretty much awakened, but not in God mode. So like you're awakened, and then you look at people in 3D and you're like, bro, why are you so depressed? Like, just be happy. Like, why can't you do it? Like, why are you so mopey? Like, I don't want to be around that. And then you look at people who've made it, and you're like, I want to be that. I want to make it. I want to make it. So like, that's kind of how your interaction goes. When you gravitate towards people above you, kind of start to separate from the people below you. Not in like the, oh, I'm better than you way, but just like, I can't be around that because they'll rub off on you and they'll lower your vibration in turn, which will set you back on the spiritual journey. So when I was in, so if you're in 3D talking to someone in 4D, you have fear talking to like, there's hope. So like, there's like, I'll never be that. And then you're talking to someone in 4D and you're just like, and they're just like, oh no, there's hope. I haven't figured it out yet, but people have done it. We can do it. There's a way. There is a way. I just don't know how. There's a way though. And then 3D is like, oh no, there's not. Like kind of black pill. Like, oh no, we're fucked. Oh, this is so over, bro. It's so over, bro. And then 5D, me now. I talk to people in 4D, and I'm like, I see you got the spark. I see you got the interest. I see you got the capacity, the capabilities, and the potential. I can teach you how to achieve God mode. Like, or if I'm talking to them in a normal conversation, it's kind of just like you hit it off. You connect with their good side, their peaceful, loving side. And then when you're around them, the people in 4D, they gravitate towards your side as well. And there's no tension or whatever. But when I'm in 5D and I'm talking to someone in 3D, I'm literally speaking a different language. Like literally, like you cannot understand me. You can, like I'm speaking English, but it's just like these topics, you literally can't process it because you don't have the state of consciousness to hold these topics. Because it's literally different realities. That's why they say we live in like hella dimensions and they're all stacked on top of each other. This is it. This is it. I live in fifth dimension. I lived in the 5th dimension, but I'm also interacting with motherfuckers right next to me who are in 3D and 4D because it's all stacked on top of each other. Man, fuck that train. So like, when people hear someone in 5D, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're crazy. You're crazy. I can't believe that. There's no way that's real. But when I'm talking to someone in 3D, I'm like, bro, you are so forsaken, bro. I really hope to God you can like get your shit together and like be able to talk to me on my level. And like, so I can help you out to achieve this level. But honestly, you got to do that yourself. You got to pull yourself out of that hole before we have these kind of conversations. And then there's like a 5th dimensional consciousness is also referred to as Christ consciousness, the Krishna state, the Buddha nature state where everything is one. So yeah, you're basically just walking yourself home to oneness. That's what I'm trying to do with y'all too. So how to raise your frequency? I'll teach you how to feel your own frequency, your baseline right now. So I want you to just 1 minute of your life to just empty your mind of thoughts and to just breathe. Like, and I want you to tell me what you feel. Do you feel worry? Do you feel scared in some areas of your life? Do you feel like you're not up to par? Like you're not there yet? Do you feel sadness? Do you feel concern? Are you stressed? Do you feel dense? Do you feel like something is wrong or some wires aren't connected in you? Do you feel love? Do you feel scarcity? Do you feel abundance? Do you feel peace? Do you feel disturbances? Do you feel worthy? Do you feel unworthy? How do you feel? Because when I was in 3D and my very first time practicing this was the introduction. This really made it real for me. So like when someone asked me this question before, I was like, damn, I feel dense. I feel like I like low self-worth. I don't think there's hope for me. Just like I'm trying my best, but nothing's working. I'm just like, no, why? Like this is how I feel. This is my baseline. That's a low vibrational state, and you can feel it too. So what I want you to do, how to really feel frequency right now. I want you to take a few deep breaths. And I want you guys to have the intention of, I want you to form a memory in your head, a beautiful memory. Like, let's say you desire to be wealthy and rich. Let's say, I don't know, if you ever, had a windfall, or if you ever got a lump sum of money, or ever something where, or maybe you just want happiness and you have this beautiful memory of being with a loved one where everything was perfect, and like just like that, whatever you want to achieve, whatever best memory you have, I want you to remember that while you're breathing. And while you're at your baseline, feel that memory, and then feel how that changes how your body is feeling. Because when I'm chilling and I feel a memory of unconditional love or unlimited abundance, or sorry guys, I fucking missed this little point, but like with feeling your own vibration, what I want you guys to do is to close your eyes, take that deep breath, and then imagine your dream life in like a 10-second movie clip. So like, I don't know, if you want to be rich, just imagine yourself in all the sports cars, like owning all these cars, owning all this wealth. Picture yourself walking into your house, and like, this is also revolving around conscious manifestation too, not just frequency identification, but like, I want you to feel your dream. I want you to visualize it in detail. Like if you're, oh, I always want to live by the water. Feel yourself having a nice place by the water. Feel you walk down the path and then you put your feet in the water. You feel how cold or warm the water is. You smell how it is. And then like that, it's going to generate a frequency. It's going to generate a feeling. And you're going to feel like you're on top of the world. Hold that. Feel that. Identify it. And hold it. Every day through everything you go through. And then over time, that'll become your baseline. And then your dreams will come to you because that's what you are. So when you change your internals, your reality has to match as within, so without, as above, so below. Hermetic law of correspondence. So when you can successfully achieve that state as a baseline, reality will follow. Hold up, the fucking GoPro. No one will see it. This is fucking chakra blocks. Well, they don't want me to talk about this. So I want you to feel whatever it is you desire, or whatever has happened that matches that desire that you want back. And I want you to actually, like when I feel joy, I go, think of a memory of joy. And I can feel a warmth, a very tingly, like, electric warmth come up my body. My shoulders go from tense to relaxed. My jaws go from constantly clenched in a state of fear to relaxed. Everything relaxes. And that feeling inside of you, that's your frequency. When I feel joy, I feel a tingle and a sensation rise up, and it kind of just like, whew. So that's how you feel and determine your frequency and what your baseline is. So now with that information, you can experiment, because every feeling has a pole, the Hermetic law of polarity. Fear, no, well, hold up, let's do scarcity. It's a good one, because this was me, might come up. Scarcity was what I was raised in. I'll never have enough. Oh, money's scarce, money don't grow on trees, blah blah blah. Worrying about bills, blah blah blah. So like, scarcity, the energy of scarcity is the same energy as abundance. It's just on a different end of the pole. So when you can take all these dense emotions and all these dense vibrations and feelings inside of you, and you do the inner work like what I just presented towards you, it's not on a hope and a dream, it's you have the intention. It's about intention, and you could feel it too. And when you really feel it in real time, you go, holy shit, this is real. And then like, you can start to work on where you feel scarce in your life. Like let's say I have a bill that I'm worried about paying. Instead of going like, oh, I don't know if I can pay this, like, oh fuck, I'm dragging myself down, I'm getting more dense, I'm lowering my vibration by freaking out about it, going, oh, that's why your heart contracts. It's like, oh, I can't do this, like oh, I don't know if I can do this in the future. But then when you feel that feeling, like let's say you're presented a bill, or your car breaks down and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pay this. Instead of doing that, immediately going to that, catch yourself. So like, let's say my car breaks down right now. Instead of going, oh fuck, just go catch yourself and go, no, I'm not gonna allow myself to feel that low vibration. Instead, I'm looking at my broken down car. I'm not even thinking about my bank account. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm not thinking about what I gotta do tomorrow. I'm thinking about right now in the present. How am I gonna feel in the present? The present is all we have. The past is a conglomerate of memories, and the future is just potential waiting to happen. So all we have is the present, and your presence determines your reality. So when you're faced with a scenario like that, and God will test you too, you'll keep looping. This is what cycles are all about. These circumstances will keep happening until you move through them properly. So my car breaks down right now. Instead of going, oh fuck, I go, no, I'm gonna feel confident that I can pay this off. I'm gonna feel abundant. I have more than enough to pay this off. You gotta get a little delusional with it. It's gonna sound wackadoo at first, but trust me, it fucking works, and it's real, bro. So you start to encounter these and handle these negative experiences, anything. There's no negative experiences. It's all how you interpret and handle it. Fate is what is meant to happen. Destiny is how you handle it, how you feel towards it, and how you move from it. So like, everything's already gonna happen in your life, but it's up to you on how you move with it and how you handle it. So like, my car breaks down, and let's say I freak out, I fucking have a mental breakdown, I have a fucking heart attack, like anxiety, like that just means I didn't handle that properly, and it's gonna fucking happen again in the future in another way. That's how it works. That's how karmic cycles work. That's how ancestral trauma and generational trauma works. The curse breaker, the chosen one, bro. I'm chosen, bro. When you live this lifestyle, you chosen too. I'm just here to help people, bro. So like, when car breaks down now, and I handle it in the correct way, be like, I'm not even worried about it, bro. Fuck, this is just 3D matrix bullshit. I care about my vibration, how I'm feeling, because I create my own reality. So I want my nervous system to be on point. And to make it be on point, I have to handle these situations that would once freak me out, and I have to tackle them differently. So you slide the freak out, and you slide that pole to the other end of the spectrum, to where now you handle it like a real motherfucker. And then now that you handled it properly, that cycle is closed out, and you're on to better experiences in your life, because life knows, God knows, you can handle these things. They're all tests, bro. It's all a test. Everything's all tests, bro. So like, when you start to understand this shit, you can really start to do the inner work, and it's called alchemy as well. Alchemy is not some fucking turn lead into gold, fucking material world bullshit. Alchemy, yes, is lead to gold, but it's all hidden. It's all encrypted information, to where this information can be preserved throughout the ages. So, you know, book burnings, you know, they don't want you to read this shit, so you have to encode shit. So alchemy is really just transmuting internal frequencies and vibrations, like what I just talked about. Feeling one thing and saying, no, I refuse to feel that, and then sliding to the other end of the pole through frequency, meditative practices, through personalized real life experience and how you actually handle shit, real world application with spiritual training, and that's alchemical transmutation. Turn lead into gold, turn the dense emotions into gold, into purified, God willing, love, light emotions, bro. That's what alchemy is. It's great. It's fucking great. But they don't want you to know that. But, you know, daddy's here to teach you, bro. Daddy's here. Daddy's come home to roost, bro. Anyways, so that's pretty much how to raise your frequency as well, with transmutation and alchemy as well. And then there's like 3 stages of alchemy too. There's Negredo, Rubedo, Albedo. Negredo is the dark night of the soul, pretty much when your world shatters and then like everything empties, the blackness, the false belief systems all leave your body. And then there's Rubedo, which is the sacred filling of the empty vessel, which is when you release everything, all this matrix and false belief systems, you reprogram your subconscious and your nervous system, and then you're completely empty. And that's when you can be filled with God's light. You're filled with the truth. You're filled with what's really going on. You're filled with all this love and light. You're filled like what I am right now. But the thing is, there's a 3rd stage, which is Rubedo, which is the reddening, which is after you get filled with God's light. The reddening is when you live that embodiment of God's light. You live that shit. You don't just get filled and call it a day. You go out, you get filled, and then you live that shit, which is what I'm doing now. So you can look that up too. I don't have that much time. My GoPro's almost dead. So like, you can also to decalcify your pineal gland. So they put a lot of fluoride and metals in the water, and if you think about it, well, a lot of shit will calcify your pineal gland to the point where it doesn't function properly. And the pineal gland is your 3rd eye, and it's your connection to the unseen. It helps navigate the unseen. Same with your heart. Your brain is good for analytics and like logical shit, like everyday life. Like, let me read this book. Let me build a table. Let me go to work and do tasks. That's what your brain's good for. It's for the seen. The heart is for the unseen, because the heart is your connection to God and source. It's also why people say follow your heart. Why would you follow your heart? Because if you pay attention to life circumstances and things that happen in interactions in your life and events, pay attention to how your heart feels. Don't think, like, let's say I meet someone and we're just talking, and then my heart contracts when I'm around that person. That means I'm not supposed to be around that person, because it's a state of contraction, not expansion. Contraction. You have to lower yourself to be around them. You don't want to be like that. So if I'm around someone and my heart's like, whoa, that means, oh shit, I feel expansive around you. I want to be around you, because your heart's pinging that in the unseen. You always have to listen to your heart, bro. And that's why they say that. It's not some woohoo Disney Channel bullshit. It's literally, this is what Jesus and the ancients, everybody was talking about, bro. And this is the downloads I get from God as well. So always follow your heart, always trust your heart. And your heart's magnetized. Your heart's electromagnetic. Your brain's electric. So, and your heart's electromagnetic. That's why it gets magnetized, and it pulls things in. It's magnetic, bro. That's why it's like, oh, follow your heart, because it'll pull you to where you need to go, and it'll pull things towards you that resonate with you. As within, so without. As above, so below. The Hermetic law of correspondence, bro. So, lemon juice, warm lemon juice before bed will help decalcify your pineal gland. But a good way to help decalcify this is constant breath work, bro. Like what I was talking to you about, raising your vibration through breath work and like feeling the emotion, all that bullshit. That'll help to calcify this. But you also gotta have a solid connection to God. You gotta get out. You gotta shed these systems, bro. You gotta do all this fucking bullshit. Meditation is fucking phenomenal, bro. I meditate whenever I can. It's better to have 20 sessions of 1-minute meditations whenever you get a chance throughout the day than to have one session of 20 minutes of meditation. It's not really better than others. It's just more doable, if that makes sense. I have hella micro sessions of meditation, bro, to where I just take a couple breaths and I get pools of warm, really warm, fuzzy, like light energy, and just I feel God in my pineal gland, bro. It's just like, oh my God, I got this fucking boost, bro, this spiritual boost. And it just takes like 20 seconds to get there for me, because I practice this shit all the time. It's instantaneous for people sometimes when you really learn your shit and how to like do these things. I'm just trying to teach you guys, and I can expand on this too. If you have any questions, please reach out in the comments. I know I'm talking a lot and about a lot of topics really fast. There's a lot of shit I'm not even talking about that I've thought about that I just don't have time to talk about because the GoPro's almost dead. So like, meditation, warm lemon water before bed, breath work, doing the inner work, all this shit, close connection to God, thinking for yourself, knowing your self-worth, going through the spiritual ascension, really becoming who you are, returning back to yourself and shedding all these false things they teach you, like, oh, you're not allowed to shine, oh, you're in a constant state of fear. No, fuck that shit. That shit gotta leave, bro, and you gotta welcome in. You have to remember who you are, because who you are originally, before they indoctrinated you and everything, is your dream version. It's your higher self. It's God. So when you empty yourself of all that bullshit and you return back to yourself, you can remember who you are, and that is the secret. That's why they want you on your phones distracted all the time, so you're not doing this shit. You're not doing the inner work. You're always doing something. You're always working. You work your whole entire day. You work 5 days a week. You only get 2 days on the weekend, but on the weekend you already make plans and you don't have time to actually spend time with yourself. That's why no one these days can sit with themselves in silence. They go, oh, I can't handle my thoughts alone. I can't sit in silence. I can't do it. I don't like being alone with my thoughts. Now you're starting to get it, huh? Me, I love being alone. That's the one place where, like, I could truly be me, bro. I love being alone. I love meditating. I love sitting alone with my own thoughts. Actually, fun fact, your thoughts aren't even yours, bro. You're just the sky, and the thoughts are individual clouds passing by. They're not even yours. Sometimes they're not even, like, literally yours. They could be other people's thoughts. Sometimes their thoughts get sent from darker forces, darker spirits, and entities, to where it tries to make you think it's your thought, and then you spiral downwards like, oh shit, I have this bill. Oh fuck, I don't know if I get, and then you start that downward spiral. But, like, if you ping it, if you go, that thought wasn't even mine, it literally disappears, and God's light fills that empty area. A good way I do it is I think to myself, I'm just like, I wonder what my next thought is going to be. And that puts your ego in the hot seat, and your ego goes, shit, he's paying attention. I can't say anything. I guess I'll just wait until he stops paying attention. Because when you ask yourself that, everything goes quiet on the front. Everything goes quiet. And then you're truly left with your own presence, your own awareness, your own self, your own. It's crazy, bro. That's another one, but you just gotta do the inner work, bro. And to be on this path, you can't just, like, dabble in it. I mean, you can, I guess, but, like, it's gonna take you way longer. It's really a lifestyle you gotta embody. Like, when I started this, nothing. Once I found the truth, once I remembered the truth in me and how all works, all this information, when I remembered it. I didn't even learn it. When I remembered it, nothing else matters. Nothing in this three-dimensional world matters. Sure, I still want to achieve my own goals, blah, blah, blah. But it's not like these conflicts don't matter. These negative interactions between people don't matter. These government systems have no control over me. I'm completely sovereign. Like, all this bullshit. Like, it goes out the window. And this is the state of bliss and unconditional love that Jesus Christ was preaching to the choir. And he was killed for it. So, fingers crossed they don't come after me. I don't believe they will, because as God's chosen one, you can't fucking fuck with me, bro. I'm protected as fuck, bro. And I fucking know this, bro. And if anyone who knows me knows what I've been through, you fucking know I'm protected too. Crazy, bro. But GoPro's really about to die. 14 minutes. I think we were talking for like 40 minutes beforehand. I think we're almost at like an hour, but this is just a brief overview of the Rapture, the Schuman resonance, how it influences us, the second coming, and the truth behind Jesus Christ. This is me, like, briefly going over things. I can go in depth on each and every one of these, like, hella. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. I'm very personable. I'm just getting started on my YouTube channel, so it's just like, I don't even know who this will reach, but if you're on the right frequency, this will reach you, and hopefully this will help you out a little bit, help you understand the world and everything that's going on, because I really could have used this shit when I was a young and coming up in the spiritual ascension game like this. But it'll find you when you need to find it. So keep your mind open, think for yourself. The power is inside of you. It's not, nothing is outside of you. Actually, this whole three-dimensional world is inside of you. It's a projection to perceive and interact with it, because we're all conscious beings here to create and play. Whatever, you got to follow your heart. It's all about play, bro. Whatever makes you happy, whatever feels like play. Just like for me, it's music. That's my calling. I don't even, or even wrapping cars, I don't even work, bro. I don't work. Money finds me. Work finds me. I don't advertise. It all finds me. It comes to me. This is my co-creation with God. And, like, none of it's work to me. I'm happy as a fucking gerbil sipping on the shit when, like, that was a weird analogy. When I'm wrapping cars, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like I'm playing. Same with music. It feels like I'm playing. I'm being creative. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing as a creative being with a creative outlet. Not like, oh, I want to do all this, but I have to work a desk job, or I can't do this, or I can't leave my job because there's a false sense of security, or I can't do this, I don't have the balls. Like, there's so many things. My battery died again. So there's so many things. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful life. This is day 1 in Eric's classroom. So have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, take care, guys. Stay blessed, stay aware, stay conscious, and stay ascending.